Tennis is supposed to be the sport of class and respect, but put players under pressure in front of millions of viewers and everything can fall apart. In this video, you'll see a chair umpire get slapped, a world #1 thrown out of a Grand Slam, a player rip his own pants mid-match, and a meltdown so shocking it ended the match on the spot. These are 10 times tennis players forgot they were on live TV. Let's start with number 10. Marat Safin was already known as tennis's biggest wild card. He once smashed so many rackets in his career that nobody has ever come close to the record. But in 2004, Safin did something even his own fans didn't see coming. In the middle of a brutal 4.5-hour match against Felix Mantilla, Safin hit an incredible winning shot. The crowd went wild, and Safin celebrated the only way he knew how, by grabbing his shorts, pulling them down to his thighs, and taking a bow in his underwear, live, on court, in front of thousands of fans. The chair umpire did not find it funny. Safin was hit with a penalty point on the spot. Afterward, reporters asked him if he regretted it. He didn't. He said tennis was losing its personality and that officials were sucking the fun right out of the sport. Lindsay Davenport, one of the most respected players in the game, actually agreed with him. Safin got fined $500 for a separate racket incident that day, but nothing for the pants. Some things, apparently, you can get away with on live TV. Coming in at number 9 is an incident so bizarre that the tournament apologized less than 24 hours later. New York, 2018. A brutal heat wave hit the US Open so bad that the tournament activated its official heat rule, giving players 10-minute breaks just to survive the court temperature. French player Alizé Cornet took her break, changed into a fresh shirt in the locker room, and came back out to finish her match. There was just one problem. She'd put the shirt on backwards, so Cornet did what anyone would do. She quickly pulled it off, spun it around, and put it back on correctly, taking maybe 2 seconds right there on the court.
I'm not sure.
She just realized that.
She's only just realized.
Well, let's change right here.
I'm amazed that she didn't realize that before heading back out.
That's called mental fatigue.
The chair umpire did not see it that way. He gave her an official code violation for unsportsmanlike conduct.
Wow, now she's going to get a code violation because she cannot take her shirt off on the court.
So code violation for taking the shirt off on the court.
The internet exploded because male players changed their shirts on court constantly with zero consequences. Novak Djokovic had literally sat there shirtless in an ice bath earlier that same day. By the next morning, the US Open had publicly apologized. They admitted the umpire made a mistake, said the rule was unfair, and rewrote their policy on the spot. All because one player forgot a camera was watching her fix a backwards shirt. This next one is the definition of forgetting the mic is on. Nick Kyrgios, only 20 years old at the time, was playing veteran Stan Wawrinka in Montreal. During a changeover with players sitting just feet apart, Kyrgios leaned over and said something to Wawrinka. Something personal, something about Wawrinka's girlfriend. He said it quietly. He said it like nobody else would hear it. But there was a courtside microphone right there, and it caught every word.
Fucking office banged your girlfriend, sorry to tell you that, man.
Within minutes, it was all over social media. Wawrinka, who retired from the match injured, called Kyrgios' comment disrespectful in a way he could never have imagined.
Nick, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask you. It's gone viral on Twitter tonight. The microphone's picked up a comment you made to him about Kokkinakis. Just what went through your mind in making a statement like that?
You know, I thought, he was getting a bit lippy at me, so I don't know. It's just in the moment sort of stuff. But yeah, I didn't really know. I just said it.
Other players and coaches piled on. The ATP fined Kyrgios $10,000 immediately. Weeks later, they added a 28-day suspension and a $25,000 fine, both hanging over his head for the next 6 months if he stepped out of line again. All because of one comment, meant for one person, picked up by one microphone Kyrgios completely forgot was there. This next one is recent, and it's chaos from start to finish. Daniil Medvedev was down 2 sets and about to lose his very first match of the tournament. His opponent, Benjamin Bonzi, was 1 point away from finishing him off, serving for the match. And then, out of nowhere, a photographer wandered right onto the court. The chair umpire stopped play, and because of the random delay, he gave Bonzi a second chance at his first serve.
Wait, please, not now. Get off the court, please.
Looks like a photographer had just
First
come
serve.
onto the court.
Ladies and gentlemen, because of the delay caused by an outside interference.
Lindsay getting the first serve, and now Medvedev's going to have a
Medvedev lost it. He stormed over to the umpire's chair, grabbed the microphone, and argued his case in front of a stadium that immediately turned into a booing, jeering mess for almost 7 full minutes.
And it's a first serve. You want to go home. He wants to go home, guys. He doesn't like to be here. He gets paid by the match, not by the hour. Yeah? What did Riley Opelka say? What did Riley Opelka say? What did Riley...
Let's play.
And somehow, it worked. Medvedev rode the chaos and the crowd energy to win the next 2 sets, dragging the match to a deciding 5th set. He still ended up losing, and after match point, he smashed his racket into the ground over and over again until there was nothing left of it. The bill for his live television tantrum came a few days later. $42,500 in fines, nearly 40% of the prize money he'd just earned. Next, we have a meltdown that ended up costing far more than a first-round loss. Fabio Fognini has a long history of losing his temper, but in 2017, it cost him more than just a match. During his first-round loss at the US Open, Fognini got into it with the female chair umpire over a series of close calls, and what he said to her, caught clearly by courtside microphones for the entire broadcast to hear, was ugly, insulting. The kind of thing you cannot say to anyone at work, let alone on national television.
We talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Fabio, the ugly showed up here. He has been dismissed from the tournament, defaulted. John, explain why.
See the expectoration right there. This is his first round singles match, and he was fined $24,000, which is a whopping fine for verbal abuse, for misogynistic comments to a female official. And
Tournament officials didn't wait around. Fognini was fined $24,000 on the spot in 3 separate penalties. He was pulled from the doubles draw he was still competing in. And weeks later, the Grand Slam board hit him with a suspended ban from 2 future majors, plus another $72,000 in fines.
So everyone, I think, is going to have to weigh in on this, not just the ITF and the slams. I think the ATP is going to have to review this situation as well. And we don't know where it's going to end up, but we know that he's ended up back in Europe already. And I just feel sorry for the doubles teams that got ousted by him.
And if he doesn't get to play the majors, gets disqualified from there, that's a big chunk of change for a tennis player. So this could be, and as you said, maybe the ATP as well may chime in, which they, I think, should. This could be a big, big problem.
Fognini apologized publicly, admitting he was in the wrong. But the damage to his reputation, all captured live in real time, was already done. This next one might be the strangest entry on this entire list. Jeff Tarango was playing a 3rd-round match at Wimbledon when the crowd started heckling him. He snapped back at them to be quiet.
But it was when Tarango resumed his service that the conflict escalated. The wide backhand conceding a break point and drawing applause from the crowd. Tarango's temper exploded.
Oh, shut up!
The chair umpire, a Frenchman named Bruno Reboux, gave him an official warning for it.
Code violation, audible obscenity warning, Mr. Tarrant.
Tarango argued the call. He called Reboux corrupt, right there, on camera, in front of everyone. That earned him a second violation, a penalty point, and that was it.
Well, how come they can say whatever they want to me? Can you call the supervisor, please? I have a big beef.
Once the supervisor had arrived, the heat was off umpire Bruno Reboux. But it was clear Tarango had the Frenchman in his sights.
You are the most corrupt official in the game, and you can't do that!
Code violation, verbal abuse, point penalty,
No
Mr.
way!
Tarango.
That's it!
Tarango grabbed his bag, packed his rackets, and simply walked off the court in the middle of the match. He became the first player in Wimbledon history to default himself. But the story wasn't over. A few minutes later, Reboux was walking through a hallway backstage when Tarango's wife found him and slapped him across the face, twice. She told reporters afterward that he deserved a lesson.
And I don't think it's bad. I think it's good. because this guy deserves a lesson at some point. He can do whatever he wants because he's on a chair. It's just not fair. It's just not fair. Players have nobody to defend them in any situation.
Tarango later thanked her for it. On the record, he was suspended from 2 Grand Slam tournaments and fined tens of thousands of dollars, all because he, and apparently his wife, completely forgot the entire tennis world was watching. If you know one moment in tennis history, it's probably this one. John McEnroe, already nicknamed Super Brat by the British press, was playing his first-round match at Wimbledon when the umpire ruled one of his serves out. McEnroe did not agree. He stormed toward the umpire's chair and screamed 4 words that would follow him for the rest of his life. "You cannot be serious."
You can't be serious, man. You cannot be serious! That ball was on the line!
He wasn't done. He told the umpire he was, quote, the pits of the world, and called him an incompetent fool, all live, all in front of the most traditional buttoned-up crowd in tennis.
Saw that serve in up for? What, because that thing verified it, or what? Service got Mr. McEnroe. You got the absolute pits of the world, you know that?
He was docked a point. He was fined $1,500. And then he went out and won the entire tournament, his first Wimbledon title. That single outburst became so famous, McEnroe used it as the title of his own autobiography years later. Decades on, it's still the most quoted moment in the history of the sport. Some of the moments on this list are funny, but this next one not so much. David Nalbandian was leading in the final at Queen's Club in London. One set up, cruising toward the title. Then he missed a shot and, in a fit of anger, kicked an advertising board sitting right in front of him.
David Nalbandian wasn't happy with how he was playing at a championship match yesterday in London, and he wasn't afraid to show it. But his attempt to blow off some steam has him in some very hot water. And
the board didn't just fall over. It flew straight into the shin of a line judge sitting right there, cutting his leg open in front of a live television audience. The umpire stopped the match immediately.
Ladies and gentlemen, code violation on sportsmanlike conduct, default, Mr. Nalbandian. Cilic wins. 7-6, 3-4.
It's an absolutely desperate way for this to end, and the crowd hate it.
Under ATP rules, any act of violence is an automatic disqualification. No warnings, no exceptions. Nalbandian was thrown out on the spot, handing the trophy to his opponent, Marat Safin, without another ball being hit. He was fined the maximum amount allowed and stripped of his prize money. Police even opened an assault investigation. Nalbandian later came back out to apologize to the crowd, blaming the pressure of the tour schedule.
I agree that I do a mistake, but sometimes everybody do mistakes, and I didn't feel that had to end like that, especially on a final. I'm very sorry.
But the image of that injured official, live on camera, was already burned into tennis history. Next is a moment that stunned the entire tennis world in an instant. Novak Djokovic came into the 2020 US Open having not lost a single match all year. 26 wins, 0 losses. He was the overwhelming favorite to win it all. Then, in the 4th round, after losing his serve, Djokovic smacked a ball behind him out of pure frustration, not aiming at anyone, not even looking. The ball struck a line judge directly in the throat. She dropped to the ground, gasping, and had to be helped off the court.
Up at net is the intent. Did Djokovic do this out of anger? And he hit that kind of hard too. Did he do that out of anger? Now,
Djokovic rushed over immediately to check on her, but the damage was done. Under the rules, hitting an official with a ball, even by accident, even carelessly, is grounds for an automatic default.
And dramatic conclusion. The world #1, the top seed and the 3-time champion, has been defaulted at the US Open.
Djokovic pleaded his case with the tournament referee for several long, tense minutes on live television. It didn't matter. He was disqualified.
We haven't seen you since obviously how your US Open ended. If you could just talk through what your process has been for processing how that tournament ended, what it's been like.
First time in my career that something like this happens. I was just unfortunate that I did hit the umpire in a very awkward place, and there was a lot of speculations and discussions whether it was deserved or not. I accepted it and I moved on. I checked on Laura after the match. She said that she was fine. There was no big injuries. I felt really sorry to cause the the shock and drama to her.
His unbeaten season, his shot at an 18th Grand Slam title, and $250,000 in prize money, all gone in the time it took one ball to travel 20 feet. And this brings us to the biggest moment, the moment that's still talked about today. More than 15 years later, Serena Williams was fighting to defend her U.S. Open title, facing Kim Clijsters in the semifinal. She'd already dropped the first set. Now, serving to stay alive in the second, down 5-6, she was called for a foot fault on her second serve. It was a call rarely made at that stage of such a huge match, and it put Clijsters 1 point from victory. Serena stopped. She walked toward the lineswoman who'd made the call, pointed her racket at her, and, in front of a packed Arthur Ashe Stadium and a national television audience, threatened her, using language we can't repeat here, warning her exactly what would happen if she was wrong.
That is extraordinary. And Serena Williams is giving it to her.
Well, she'll have to be careful here. She's already had a warning for racket abuse.
Here we go.
And this
could be trouble.
The chair umpire had no choice. Unsportsmanlike conduct, a penalty point, and because it happened to be match point, the match was over, right there.
Are you scared? As I said, I would get you. I'm sorry, but there's a lot of people who said way worse. I didn't say I would kill you. Are you serious? Are you serious? I didn't say that.
Clijsters advanced to the final and went on to win the whole tournament. Serena was fined $10,000 immediately. 2.5 months later, the Grand Slam board added a record fine of $82,500 plus 2 years of probation. It remains one of the most replayed, most talked about moments in the history of the sport, all because for about 10 seconds, one of the greatest athletes who ever lived completely forgot the entire world was watching. Those were 10 times tennis players forgot they were on live TV. Which moment shocked you the most? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.